Alright, today's video is about leaks and rumors. Honestly, I don't trust them, but apparently this individual, is 2 for 2 on leaks. So there is something of truth, hopefully, because I read through them, they look nice. So hopefully there's at least some of them that are true. Some of them are a bit iffy, so let's check them out. Alright, for Vanguards, Captain America. Reduce cooldown of Vibranium Energy Saw from 8 seconds to 5 seconds and decrease damage reduction to 10%. Which I think means the shield throw is from 8 seconds to 5 seconds now. And it does a bit more damage since it reduces the damage reduction. Decrease health from 575 to 500. Honestly, I think now what? He's the lowest. I think he's still the lowest tank with lowest health. But his increased value from 350 to 500. Which now, if you have your shield up most of the time, which you should do as Captain America, you'll have 1,000 health. Increased damage of Liberty Rush from 30 to 45. I think that one's the shield dash, if I'm not mistaken. So which means we could almost do more nasty combos with Captain America. Plus the cancel animation that you should know in order for him to be actually usable. New effect grounds enemies for 1 second. Honestly, I hope that one is true because he deserves that. He deserves a buff. He's been nerfed after nerf. He deserves a buff. I myself, I'm not a Captain America main, but I did load him. It was horrible, but I did. I did it without the cancel animation, which was a big mistake. I should have learned it. Now I kind of do know it. So yeah. Alright, Doctor Strange. Maelstrom of Madness now applies anti-heal when released at 100%. Now that is nice. He needed a buff. I was hoping for some CC immunity, but that is a decent buff. Alright, now for the one I'm sure you click on this video for. Hulk. Decrease cooldown of indestructible guard from 10 seconds to 6 seconds, which I think is the bubble, the shield bubble he gets. Increase base health from 650 to 700, which is nice. Multiply the damage for every consecutive hit with heavy blows by 3% up to 15%, which means healers won't ignore you anymore. As I've said, if these leaks are true, it's big ups for Hulk mains. Monster Hulk's new effects. Hulk is now unstoppable when using any ability. CC immune on the old. That's something that should happen even if these leaks are not real. That is something that should happen. New effect. Allies cannot damage any enemy grabbed by World Breaker. As I said, that should happen too. Because how can they get healed but your allies cannot affect them? You know, the thing added 25% damage reduction to Battle Blitz, which I think it's the running mechanic, if I'm not mistaken. Increased vulnerability duration from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. Is it, is it still the same thing? I'm not sure, honestly. I don't play the thing. Please let me know. Thor. Allies inside of Lightning Realm now receives Overshield up to 75 and receives a 30% speed boost when exiting. Which means Thor mains are getting another buff. And increased base health from 600 to 650, which is nice too. Thor mains are now actually getting Vanguard abilities. You know, overshield your teammates and receive a buff too from one of his abilities. and he gets extra health, which I think would be a nice buff to him. Uh, all right, Duelist, Black Panther. I think he honestly does deserve a buff. He's been useless this season, and if you think of it differently, you're just coping at this point. All right, increased damage of a Vibranium Claw from 35 to 40. Honestly, I'm not sure if that's just his melee or the dash. Probably the melee, I think. Increased base damage of ultimate ability from 150 to 175, which should be easier to do the combo load now. Increase ability, ultimate ability energy cost from 3,300 to 3,700, which now I think is sort of a nerf, if I'm not mistaken. Apparently, it's hard to get the ult. Black Widow. Removed energy cap on Fleet Foot, which means now she can run the whole time, just like Cap. Remove power jump. Okay. New ability, Widow can now grapple ceilings. Easy grapple toggle will be added, which means she can stick to the air, to the walls, if I'm not mistaken. Red Room Rifle new effect, critical hits now leave a vulnerability effect for 3 seconds. Honestly, I think it will be the same as his old, slow as her old, slowing them down. Ultimate ability base damage increased from 120 to 150. As I said, another nice buff. She could be usable next season. She is usable, but most of us, we use her as a throw character. Well, I don't throw games. I don't know why I say this. Daredevil, reduce the amount of fear gain per strike with Justice Jab. Okay. Reduce the range of when Daredevil can see enemies. Not terrible nerfs, but we needed more nerfs, more. But as I said, it's either fake or real. We won't know. Human Torch, remove fire cluster charges, now has ammo evasion. So the shots you see on the screen will now be ammo instead. New effect, using plasma body reloads the ammo. I think it's when he tackles the ground, if I'm not mistaken. Moon Knight, increase energy cost of ultimate ability from 2,800 to 3,000. Should have been more, in my opinion. Okay, here we go. Rogue. Increase defense stance damage reduction from 60 to 80% at maximum energy from 100 to 150. Honestly, I like that. She needed a bit more defensive. Reduce video traction cooldown from 17 seconds to 14 seconds, which is nice. Cooldown reduction is what she needed the most. Reduce chrono kick cooldown from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. Power absorption cooldown now starts immediately after the cutscene ends. Not using the ability resets it to 12 seconds. Reduce cooldowns on fail grabs from 25 seconds to 20 seconds. Okay, honestly, I like them. I hope it's real for Rogue because I love her gameplay, but it was mostly the cooldowns that were iffy for me. But yeah, there is a chance she could combo multiple times and not lose anything. Yeah. On this one, not using the ability resets it to 12 seconds. Would that also count for characters that don't give you an ability, or probably not? It would be a bit more overpowered like that, so probably not. Winter Soldier, removed grounding effect from Trooper's Fist, which everybody was hoping that that would be gone the moment it got put into the game. Decrease base health from 275 to 250, which honestly is not that much of a nerf, I would say, because he gets so much over health. Now, this one is probably one of the healer's favorites, Adam Warlock. New ability. When activating this ability, Adam can move freely in his soul state for 5 seconds. New effect. Adam heals himself and allies 30 HP per second whenever he's in the soul state. Increase base health to 275. Honestly, that's nice. Basically, he'll have movement, and when he's in that movement, he'll heal the allies. But as I said, this is sometimes like it's too good to be true. Basically saying that. Alright, for Gambit, remove healing effect from ultimate ability. That's horrible. Increase energy cost from 4,300 to 5,000. Honestly, he needed that. Because, honestly, yeah, I'm fine if those are real. Because in pro matches, I think it was high elo, even low elo, Gambit's a banned pick because of that ultimate. If you don't have Gambit, you'll probably lose because Gambit basically is the option whether you'll lose or win the game. Now for Invis, reduce health from 275 to 250. Alright, honestly didn't need that nerf. Increase cooldown from push from 8 seconds to 12. Okay, I'll take that. Increase cooldown of Guardian Shield from 6 seconds to 8 seconds. And decrease value from 250 to 200. Honestly, that one's nice. That's what people wanted. New effect. Soon must recall the shield before repositioning it. Which I think is also nice, which means you'll have to learn the new mechanic basically. Relearn the mechanic most likely. Loki. Reduce base health from 275 to 250. As I said, they should have kept that at 275. Honestly, I don't know why he needed that nerf. Luna. Reduce ultimate ability. Energy cost from 5,000 to 4,700. Yes, hopefully that is true because Luna gets her ult once every game, almost once every game. I don't know. Unless you're farming heals, she gets it once every game. Remove 10% damage boost from Self Snowflake. Yes, because as of base Luna damage, she does more damage than a lot of DPSs for some reason. Mantis. Alright, this is Mantis. Honestly, I think it's buff. Remove stacking healing orb duration. Now multiplies the amount of healing up to 1.5 times using multiple leaves. So basically, each time you basically stacking the leaves gives them more health faster. I think increases base health to 275, which is nice. Storm. Alright, these are Storm buffs, I think. Increase base movement from speed from 6 to 8, which is good. Increases goddess boost self movement speed from 40 to 60, and the slowing effect on enemies from 15 to 40. Storm now has 2 bolt rushes that recharge 8 seconds per bolt. 2. Honestly, I've never played Storm, but my duo does. And when he lowered him, he said that she was too slow and needed more buffs. So hopefully this will make you happy. If it is true, as I said since the beginning, they're probably not real, but hopefully some of them are. Honestly, all of them are nice. So yeah, hopefully most of them are real.